Hello, my friends. This is Paul, and today I have a nonfiction audiobook review for you. It is called Atlas of the Heart from the great Brenè Brown. Brenè Brown writes a lot of self-help, popular psychology books for a lot of different readers. This is like the second or third book of hers that I've read, and I thought it was just okay. In Atlas of the Heart, Brenè Brown is breaking down over 80 plus emotions and showing us what all the differences are between all the different emotions. This book's intention is to engage our vocabulary and to increase our vocabulary so that we can talk about our emotions with ourselves and with other people and be more mindful and intellectual about what we're talking about when we talk about how we're feeling. So what I really liked about this audiobook is that she repeated herself multiple times. She was able to say a definition of a word, and then she would repeat that definition for the audiobook listeners because she has the audiobook different from her physical book. It is more like a podcast to her, and she interjects into what she's reading with her own thoughts while she's reading it. So it makes it feel like a podcast and a book at the same time. What I also liked about this book is she really talks about where these emotions and things come from, the stem emotion from other emotions, so that we could really look back on our emotions and figure out what is really bothering us. And I also really like that it increased my vocabulary of how I'm feeling and the emotions that I'm dealing with every single day. So what did I not like about this book? I felt that it got old really quickly. At first, I was very excited to listen to this, but it was hard to keep my attention on it for the 8.5 hours the audiobook is. Especially because there are not these natural progressions between the emotions that cues the reader, the listener, to what we're doing and what we're switching to. I think if there were audio cues or it was more pronounced that we're switching the different emotions, then I would have been able to follow along a lot better. But I just kind of got lost in all the definitions and all of the verboseness of the book while listening to it. And my focus at the beginning was very strong, but by the end of the book, my focus was not that strong because it just felt like it got old. Also, I felt like she was saying that her definitions are only the correct definitions. And I feel like with emotions and in the words we use, sometimes we don't really know how we feel. And we use the best word that we can find in our vocabulary. And I know this book is trying to help us with that. But it was almost like she was telling us that this emotion only means this, and your interpretation of what that emotion means and the definition of it and how we interpret it is wrong. And I just kind of felt like she was walking that edge the entire time, and I wasn't a big fan of that. However, if you want to listen to an audiobook or read this book, I think it would be fantastic to do so because you really get a deep dive into all the different types of emotions, and you can express yourself in ways that you could not before because you can learn the exact word for how you are feeling. You're not just happy, you're not just sad, you're not just angry, but there is a plethora of different vocabulary words, different words to describe how we are feeling. This is especially important if you're thinking about doing therapy, if you're having issues in your relationships, because being more specific about how you're feeling and giving those definitions of how you're feeling to the person you're talking to will help them understand you more. And in the end, that's what we all want, to be understood a little bit more by the people we love. All right, guys, that is my review of Atlas of the Heart by Brenè Brown. This came out in 2021, and I will talk to you all next time.